Hello and welcome back. If you're here for the first time, thank you for tuning in. It's already day 7 at Invictus Games Düsseldorf, with the final hours of action wrapped up. And on this Saturday evening, the curtain officially fell on Invictus Games Düsseldorf 2023, bringing together an action-packed 7 days of sport, solidarity, inspiration, with the closing ceremony at Merkerspiel Arena. Competitors came together again to be celebrated for their courage, determination, and fighting spirit, and recognize the integral and indispensable role that family and friends play in the rehabilitation and recovery of competitors. 2 members from each nation's family and friends contingent joined their international cohorts and marched behind the final nation entering the arena. What an atmosphere! And it was an honor for the teams to represent their countries. And following the marching in of the nations in that fantastic atmosphere, we had a closing speech from German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and the game's founder and patron, the Duke of Sussex, who closed the official proceedings with a speech and a preview of the next games that has been flagged for Vancouver Whistler in 2025. So what a day it has been, watching the live stream, not only on today, but throughout the whole 7 days, witnessing the courage and determination of all the competitors and the family spirit that permeated the entire competition. It was filled with so many memorable moments and overcoming, and a swell of triumph as it all came to a close. And I'm going to add this here, watching all of the competitors from the different nations in the stage parade, in the closing ceremony, on the stage, dancing and being proud of all that they accomplished and celebrating each other and everything that has taken place during the games made me well up. Like, why was I sitting there crying, tears in my eyes, just seeing these servicemen and women being celebrated, being spotlighted, and just happy and genuinely uplifted by the support that they have received. I am emotional thinking about it, and I just had to add this here. And before all of this had happened, it was once again fantastic to see the Duke and Duchess of Sussex got a chance to present medals in a very special ceremony, and they gave out the medals to some very special individuals. Harry and Meghan presented medals to the 50 and 100 style meter freestyle swimmers. There were 2 from the US and 1 from Ukraine. And in that group was Yulia, who won silver in the women's 50 meters freestyle. We all know her story from the Heart of Invictus. She is someone who has dedicated her life to serving others and has been part of the recovery process for many who have been on the front lines, and she herself had her own trial that she went through and overcame. And everyone who had followed her story were so very proud to see her getting a medal. So it was quite a busy day after that for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. We've seen an image released where Meghan was reading a book to children at reading hour at Kids in Nations. The book she was reading from is called Leela Greer, Teacher of the Year. And the children look like they're really enjoying themselves, soaking up the read. So what an atmosphere it was. We have just been blessed, as I've said many a time, with amazing moments throughout these 7 days. Seeing the crowds and the heartfelt love that has been witnessed throughout the 7 days, and also seeing the patron and his wife, Duchess Meghan, interacting with all of the competitors and their families. It was just so moving. And one of the themes that have been prevalent throughout this whole competition was hope and inspiration, compassion and companionship as well, and of course, family above all. So, the Duke of Sussex was set to give a speech during the closing ceremony, even as he did the opening one, and he absolutely electrified the audience. And I have some clips here, so let's take a listen.
I stood here and told you about the significance of being able to wear your nation's flag again. And so many of you have told me that that hit you right here. For many of you, the uniform you've been wearing this past week will give you a new story to tell. And for others, it may give your old uniform new meaning. But I'm here to remind you that after all this, you don't need to rely on a uniform, nor should you ever feel lost without one. Why? Because everything you need is already within you. So many of you and your loved ones have been to the darkest places imaginable. But your mission to heal and grow has been a shining example to us all. You've shown us the power in not defining people by assumption or their backstory or past pain, but rather instead on their ability, how they show up, and who they are in the present.
And he gave such a captivating and rousing speech full of emotion, which encapsulated the indomitable spirit of the veterans, which resonated with the servicemen and women who took part in the Invictus Games and attendees alike. If you thought the opening speech was memorable, in my opinion, this went to a whole new level as the Duke of Sussex just captured, framed and phrased everything that took place within these 7 days. So we commend him for his speech. He always has that touch of local flair, trying to offer up a couple of words in German, which impressed the crowd, and his profound gratitude to the competitors, their families and volunteers, everyone who took part in this remarkable event was so palpable, and this statement just stood out to me.
Yesterday, I met with Master Corporal James Gendron from the Canadian team in the Invictus 2025 tent. James, where are you? While we were chatting, I noticed bagpipes lying on the floor in the far corner. Some of you may know what bagpipes mean to me, so I couldn't help but hope that they'd be played. Little did I know that 30 minutes later, it would be James picking them up and offering to play. Yet I had no idea what they meant to him. Nor did I know what memories they triggered for him. In Afghanistan, he played 63 ramp ceremonies. For 63 caskets, for 63 souls, for 63 families.
One, two.
For 4 years after that last ceremony, he couldn't touch them. This week, he wasn't even sure whether he could bring himself to play them. But he did. What had once haunted him, dare I say it, may now be what helps heal him. Thank you, James, for your service, for your courage, and for sharing your gift.
Beautiful. There must not have been one dry eye in the house. That was just so poignant, and I just teared up at that. And what all of this is meant for all the servicemen and women, and knowing that they feel seen and understood, that part of his speech just was a complete highlight. It just shows what this all means. And just share with me in the comment section how this part of the speech impacted you. So beautiful. And also the Duchess of Sussex, you could see her there in the crowd, so proud of Prince Harry. And she was emotional. You could see it all over her face. What an accomplishment, and what impact has been realized through these games. And it was so good to see her there, as stunning as she was, in full support in all the good that has been done. Wonderful. I am so moved. This is so full of emotion. And of course, seeing Meghan looking on with pride for her husband was just so moving as well. As I've always said, they are a team. So the Invictus Games as a quote, home for respect. And the encouragement that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have offered up not only to each other, but for all who are taking part in the Invictus Games, the servicemen and women specifically on their own personal journeys, knowing that it just doesn't end there for them, but the family continues on. So it is amazing. What a spotlight on these athletes who have served their countries and earned their spots in these Paralympic-style games, who deserved every bit of the spotlight that was on them. What an amazing event. And also, this is something so important that happened. The mayor of Dusseldorf announced that as next year would be the 10th year anniversary of Invictus Games, that they would also be launching Invictus Germany, that would serve as a legacy project of Invictus Games, and they would continue on to boost German servicemen and women in their recovery through sports. And they would also be hosting an event that was Invictus Games oriented. And he also announced that they would host an event surrounding Invictus Games as well. So the positive snowballing effect is still being felt, as we are assured that these remarkable men and women who have served will not be forgotten. Once the lights dim, once the curtain closes, there will be the continued impact of Invictus Games. This was truly more than just a simple sporting event, and it has been stated over and over again that the games hold a very powerful, positive influence on the recovery for many of these wounded and sick servicemen and women, not only veterans, but those who are both serving from countries all over the world. Time and time again, we heard competitors talking about how the games have just been so uplifting to them, and they themselves have been empowered watching their fellows participating, showing courage, showing strength. And they were so honored, once again, as Prince Harry said in the opening ceremony, to represent their countries, to have those flags on their chest, on their gear. And it has just been so impactful. And as we've heard, all roads now lead to Canada, Vancouver, and Whistler in 2025. So the Invictus Games is a very special sporting event, and the competitors are an inspiration of perseverance and willpower for all of us. And as one of the commentators said so succinctly as all the events drew to a close. He said that the event may have lasted a week, but the memories will last for a lifetime. So it was wonderful to share all of this with you. I am so deeply moved and celebrate with all of the winners and everyone who participated in the Invictus Games. We celebrate with them, with their families, and are so proud of what the Duke and Duchess have done with the Invictus Games. And also in the same celebratory spirit, we're still wishing Prince Harry a very happy birthday. We know that he has enjoyed that his childhood friend from Eton as well flew out to Germany to celebrate his birthday. So he has been surrounded by friends, of course, along with Meghan, and by the camaraderie of the military community around him, as well as those in government positions. For example, the Plymouth MP John Mercer, who sat with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and his friend Nikki during the volleyball final between Poland and Colombia, as well as the meeting that he had with NATO representatives as well, and just the whole family of Invictus. So what a week. And now on to Canada, Vancouver for Invictus 2025. So share your thoughts and highlights in the comment section below. And as always, before we log off, a quick plug here. If you'd like to, kindly follow this channel on Twitter. We're trying to build that platform as well here. And now allow me to kindly thank those who have supported my work here. I would like to give a shout out to a couple of you here by name. A very special thank you to you. Alma Andrews, thank you so much for your kindness and giving towards my work here. I truly appreciate you and I pray for God to bless you. Thank you to you, Judy Basil. Thank you for your kind support for my work. I value you and thank you. And now a very special thank you to those who gave during the last live. A very special thank you to you, Nubian Queen. Thank you for your tremendous generosity towards my work through your giving. It means so much. God bless. Thank you to Olivia Johnson, who has been a supporter of this channel time and time again. I do not take that for granted. God bless you. And now a very special thanks to those who gave through Super Thanks. A very special thank you to you, Nutty Doctor. Thank you so much. I'm so moved by your continued generosity towards my work here. May God bless. Thank you to you, Gail Tapscott. You are also a supporter of this channel and you go above and beyond, and it means so much to me. Thank you. Once again, thank you to all who like, comment, and share. Share your thoughts and highlights about Invictus 2023 in the comment section. I would love to know your thoughts. And if you want to watch more videos, click the links in the cards and at the end screens, and I will see you there. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week wherever you are, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.